have a Dell Xeno HD Media Center PC that I use for getting my daily tech news fixed, and I'm making do with a wired keyboard and mouse. I'd love to be able to just sit back on my couch, however, and wirelessly navigate the computer. I've tried a basic RF wireless combo, and apparently my couch is about 2 feet out of range. Are there any wireless keyboard mouse combos under $100 that have a longer range than radio frequency, preferably something fairly compact?
I was just going to say, like...
You were wagging my finger like I was reading it wrong.
No, you're reading it fine. You're doing good. No, I was going to say, like, the cheaper wireless keyboard, especially keyboard and mouse combos that are stuffed into one in the keyboard, the cheaper it gets, the more awful they are. I was going to say that, like, if it's from, like, a tiny little brand you've never heard of and it's, like, $12, chances are that it won't work very well. Once in a while, a good one shows up cheap, but most of the time, cheap wireless keyboards suck.
Yeah, I mean, outside of IR, pretty much all of your RF choices out there are going to be Bluetooth. But Bluetooth has a pretty decent range. I mean, I'm not really sure.
A lot of it depends on the actual
antenna size,
chipset they use, right? And a lot of them now, Microsoft has a lot of ones that aren't actually Bluetooth, but they put a little weird wireless dongle that plugs into a USB port.
Yeah. Well, I really like Logitech's Denovo and the Denovo Mini. They have about a 30-foot range. The Mini is super compact and really cute, actually.
Yeah,
I like it.
If you're into thumb typing.
If you're into thumb typing, but he wants something sleek and compact, and that actually fits that perfectly. And I can't imagine your couch is more than 30 feet away from your TV. I mean, maybe you have a giant, super huge house, but that seems pretty reasonable.
That's an awfully big living room.
It seems pretty reasonable. The one downside, it's going to run you a little more than $100. The Denovo is $150, and the Denovo, the compact version, the Mini, is $120. But I've been using the Denovo for a while now, and I love it, and it'll work great with a home theater PC. You can try something with an IR support, but that needs to be like line of sight. That might be an issue if you've got, I don't know, your giant 30-foot living room that has a lot of different pieces of furniture and a coffee table.
If you slouch,
if you want to, like, you sit with your
lean
knees
back,
up.
or if you point it the wrong way.
Yeah.
IR is a little...
It's a little iffy, but the Microsoft Remote Keyboard for Microsoft Windows XP Media Center Edition wireless keyboard, it's under $50.
It actually works shockingly well.
That's approximately $10 a word.
And it's fairly compact.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little bit, it's not the fanciest keyboard out there. But I haven't, frankly, tested too many wireless keyboards. I mean, I've had that Denovo Edge for a really long time, and that's the only one I've pretty much had experience with.
I've tested maybe a dozen.
No, well, then you have clearly more experience than I do
well,
in the wireless keyboard testing category.
Well, we play around with a lot of stuff for AC Nation, and I've had a computer in my living room forever.
Yeah.
All I can say is once in a while a really cheap one is good. Most of the cheap ones really suck. The Microsoft Remote Keyboard that you mentioned is actually pretty solid.
Good.
Suggestions? Do you have any?
There's actually, speaking of HD Nation, there's an HD Nation episode where I believe you covered some of those wireless keyboard options. So they're mostly over $100.
Yes. There are a lot of really expensive.
Good.
Well, we're actually we're kind of pulling together a whole new collection of them for another roundup.
Oh, good. Okay.
Aaron's search for the perfect keyboard for his home theater PC continues.
Well, we'll include that link in the show notes so you can go back to that older episode and check it out if you want to.